Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. So after 2 days since I recapped Nakamichi Dragon with WIMA capacitors, I made the decision to try and get the same sound out of my RX-505. Sound is super detailed, very natural, good separation between channels. I'm just in love with the sound. Now, let's talk about capacitors itself. Not every deck is easy to recap with WIMA capacitors. And I'm not talking even about the price. I'm talking about the size of the capacitors. So take a look. This is for Akai. I get this is 0.33. Those are relatively small. All right. It's 1 microfarad. That's already bigger. That's bigger than regular aluminum capacitors you may get, electrolytes. 2.2 microfarad. Still manageable size. And Nakamichi Dragon, RX-505, CR7, right? They have mostly 1 and 2.2 microfarads, and that's easy to replace. 505 has 2 by 10 microfarads, and 10 microfarads is already huge caps, as you may see. Talking about 22 and 47, which installed in the DR1, DR10, Sony decks, Pioneers 4.7 mostly. Those are huge. See, size of my finger. All right. So, and 22 and 47 even bigger. So again, not every deck is easy or possible to recap with WIMA caps, but I will do my best to make this 505 sound the same as a Dragon, because it uses the same schematic. It's same op-amps, which has the MOSFET transistors on the inputs. As a result, high impedance and small size capacitors. All right. So let's see results, and I meet you there. Okay, everyone, I just completed recapping. So 2 capacitors in the playback amp, 2 in the record amp, 2 right in the input, 6 in the tape source switch, 2 capacitors here on Dolby board, and 2 10 microfarads on the outputs. And size is an issue, as you may see. I had to install them like that. All right. Otherwise, I don't see any easy way to install. I believe similar will be with Nakamichi CR7, because it has 10 microfarads on the Dolby output as well. All right, now let me assemble everything back, and let's see how it will perform. See in a moment. Okay, so I'm continuing testing. Let me remove this sound. I'll continue tuning, recording. So on playback, left channel gain 1.5 decibel, right channel 1 decibel on the level. On record, I'm recording type 1 tape. 400 Hz level was 1 decibel lower, but 10 kilohertz level 3 decibel higher than it was before. And I didn't tune it yet, so technically I need to bring it to the proper values. All right. Let me see better. So sensitive, make even between 2 channels is pretty hard. All right, almost. Let me check. One more time. Okay, right down, left. Okay, left down. That's recording. Source 10 kilohertz source tape. Now let's see. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19.4, 20.4, 21.4, 22.4. Up to 22 kilohertz on type 1 tape. Pretty nice. All right. Let me switch to the type 2. All right. Type 2, again with 1 decibel lower than was before. 400 gears. Luckily we can adjust. Left channel and right channel. Now 10 kilohertz and right channel is way higher. Right, left, even. Source and tape. Good. Source, tape. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Right channel started to drop. 19, 20. But this might be tape quality. All right. Now let's check on the metal tape. The biggest benefit of these capacitors is super low ESR. I measured it myself and it's showing me between 0.04 to 0.09 ohm for 10 microfarad caps. So like the smaller one, like the smaller 10 microfarad, a little bit bigger, but it's like kind of 100 times less than electrolytic capacitors. Now trying metal tape. Why levels lower? But I was tuning for Sony tape, so this maybe before. And now we're playing on the TDKMA, so 10 kilohertz. Yeah, 10 kilohertz is 4 decibel higher. Now, let me adjust. Okay, checking up. Done. And done. All right. Source tape. Yeah, see pitch rollers a little bit wobbling. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 started to drop. All right. That's how tape is going through the pitch rollers. Probably they already needs cleaning because I was playing like a couple dozens tape, maybe like 20 to 30 tape on this deck without cleaning. All right, good, tuned. Sound itself, I'm already tested and I have one idea why it's so different. Let me check and I will meet you right there. Alright, my idea was wrong. I thought that this nice sound because of THD, but THD is pretty low, type 1 tape, 400 Hz, and like 1 kHz, and it gets below 1%. 1 kHz 0.9%, 400 Hz 0.66% on the left, and 0.7 on the right, and on 1 kHz and 0.89 on the right. So we have a good distortion level, noise 40, 50, minus 53 on type 1 tape, perfect. So recording minus 20 decibel, let's see, 20 Hz plus 2 decibel, 40 even, 63, 100, 160, 250, 400, 1.5 kHz, 0.8 decibel, 2 kHz, 3, half decibel, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10, 12. Yeah, its tape is very used. Level still good. 15, 18, 20 kHz. Perfect. Now, white noise. It's 0 level. Looks good. Minus 10. Looks completely flat. Minus 20. Flat. Now, let's do sweep. So this nice sound is like really, it's so detailed, it's so beautiful. It's hard to explain the difference with regular capacitors. With older Nakamichi capacitors, the difference is clear. Those has high frequencies, those like hats on the drums, like and everything else, like it sounds like a hiss, like a noise. It's not clear. With Nakamichi, with Nichicon capacitors, it's much better, but it's still not at the level these WIMA capacitors do. You see, the perfect frequency response. All right, let's remember it and do minus 10. And with these capacitors, first of all, the most important thing, like that high frequencies, I can hear as a set of like sinusoidal signals. Specifically, I was quite impressed with drums, like with accordion and so on. It's so natural, it's so good. It's just like you need to listen to these guys. It's super clear, super precise, and separation between channels was really great. I so much like this sound that I decided to recap my RX-505. Even if I already recapped it 3 times, it probably 4th. All right, remember I tried solid polymer capacitors in it. I tried Nichicon capacitors in it, Nichicon fine gold. That did work really well. And now WIMA capacitors. And I had another RX-505, I tried Nichicon Muse capacitors. And that's where like really good. Don't get me wrong, with Nichicon capacitors, Muse and like fine gold, this deck sounds really good. But it's not how better explain, not that clear on the highs, right? Like it's a little bit muffled. With these capacitors, you see on type 1 tape, records pretty well. All right. Good. Let me assemble, listen more, I do more tests, and I'll let you know my thoughts about this upgrade. While you will be waiting and thinking about if you would recap. So the biggest change I've got, you have seen in my last videos, that I was using my Sony TAFA 777 ES deck amplifier. And the biggest difference with this amplifier that the clarity is way better than with Rotel I have, and like linearity of response, specifically in like vocal mid-range, it's so like clear and like so like linear that I can hear the vocals, music across my house really well. If I use an Rotel, I mostly hear the booms across the house. The music plays just in the room. With Sony, music plays like everywhere, and it's perfectly fine. I clearly hear it and so on. And I even like tried so many times. Like I believe about 6 times I've swapped to Rotel back, then listen like 2, 3, 4 weeks with Rotel, then revert back to Sony, then again revert back to Rotel, and so on, unless I finally recognize all the differences. And the last thing was that with the Sony amplifier, I can hear the differences between decks much better. And like difference between deck and the original digital signal, again, like I can hear much better. And that was the reason I reverted my solid polymer upgrades for my both Sony decks and Nakamichi deck and DR10. So because with these upgrades, we get extended highs, extended low bass, but vocal range had a gap. Really, it was lacking the like liveliness, and that was making the sound like very digital, and even like it was worse than the original. So I reverted back. I installed Nishikon Fine Gold, and now like on my Sony decks, it's almost not possible to distinguish between digital and the resulting sound. So those are really great decks, and DR10 actually gets better. It's better than with original capacitors, maybe because it's more fresh capacitors, because I use it the same Nishikon Muse and Nishikon Fine Golds, like for polar and non-polar, because it has both values. The problem that in DR10 I cannot do this upgrade because all these capacitors 10 microfarads are huge, but it also required 47 microfarad, which even bigger than these capacitors. All right, I will think more about it if I can do it or not, but so far my goal was like to try and see if this RX-505 will be playing exactly the same like sonically as Nakamichi Dragon. It cannot compete with Azimuth, all right, but I may cheat. I may use the tapes recorded on this deck and play this on this deck, all right? Technically, I don't need Azimuth search. Schematic is very the same. RX-505, CR7, and Dragon. Schematic is pretty close. Same NGM op amps. Same values for the capacitors, like 1 and 2.2 microfarad. So let me listen and I will let you know. And I probably will do another video comparing the Dragon sound and RX-505 sound with WIMA capacitors. Thanks for your time. Thanks for attention. Stay tuned for my channel. I'm really excited. My surgery went well. I feel better. So I will do more decks for you pretty soon. See you and bye-bye.